All right, welcome back. So this morning, CNN is asking for an emergency hearing. This is after the White House has warned that they may pull our colleague Jim Acosta's press pass again.
Yeah, you thought this was all settled last week? Well, on Friday, the network won a temporary restraining order forcing the White House to restore Acosta's credentials for 14 days. But just after that, White House officials sent Acosta a letter saying they may suspend his pass once that order expires. CNN chief media correspondent Brian Stelter is with us. So TROs, temporary restraining orders, by nature, they last for 2 weeks, 14 days. White House saying, okay, that's all the time you have.
Right.
So CNN wants here the judge to move to a more lasting decision, right?
Yes,
a temporary
exactly right.
injunction.
Yeah, CNN was victorious in round one. I said on Friday, we don't know how many rounds there's going to be. Looks like there's going to be many rounds in this legal battle because almost as soon as that temporary restraining order was put into effect on Friday, Bill Shine and Sarah Sanders, two of the defendants in the lawsuit, sent a letter to Acosta, a two-page letter that I have here, that essentially lays the groundwork to take the press pass and revoke it again, which would essentially be at the end of the month, 11 days from today. So the letter says they believe he violated basic standards of behavior at that press conference on November 7th. Of course, all the nation's major news outlets are standing with CNN, standing with Acosta in this case. But the White House is vowing to fight on. So here's CNN's newest statement about this as we go back to court this morning with a new filing. CNN says the White House is continuing to violate the First and Fifth Amendments of the Constitution. These actions threaten all journalists and all news organizations. And then it continues, Jim Acosta and CNN will continue to report the news about the White House and the president. So the legal maneuver here, guys, is that this new document, this new status report, is a request for the judge to have a hearing next week. He wants CNN's asking for a hearing next week in order to get that preliminary injunction.
You know what will be really telling, Ryan, is in the next 11 days, should they have a press conference, will they call in Jim Acosta? I mean, even if he gets to be in there, it also matters to have the opportunity to pose important questions.
Yes, and whether Acosta is called on, whether other CNN reporters are called on, whether anybody is called on. You know, Trump goes hot and cold. He has hot times where he's answering lots of questions. Then he has cold periods where he ignores the press and doesn't really engage. So I don't know if we're in a hot or a cold period right now. But bottom line here, as we've said before, this is not about Acosta. This is about a slippery slope. This is about what other reporters could be targeted by this White House, and it is about why the president is trying to pick and choose the reporters who are covering his
Arguably by this White House or future White Houses, right? Future
That's
administrations,
right.
if you set a precedent here now.
And that's, I think, why CNN is willing to keep going to court and keep fighting this battle. So stay tuned. Maybe this time next week, another hearing.
Okay, Brian, thank you.
Stelter, thanks.